Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician Civil War. It looks like we are in, I believe, episode 12 here in April of 1862. Just a quick refresher. We have pushed down. We did just finish that battle in the Shenandoah Valley. It was a tactical victory despite falling back. So we'll go ahead and get started. So Banks's corps is falling back. Banks, one of the Union generals that just collectively struggled throughout the war. He was never really a top general. I mean, he was ranked highly consistently, but struggled kind of in every aspect of everything that he tried to do in the war. Between the Shenandoah Valley and typically getting beat by Stonewall Jackson, and then also was not most successful in the Red River campaign down south. So Banks kind of one of those stereotypical political generals for the Union that struggled more than he was successful. It looks like they're getting ready to bring an attack on to the Army of the Potomac's first three corps. Looks like Banks regained most of his readiness. We'll go ahead and stick him back in Winchester to regain readiness just a little bit faster. May actually even reinforce him with some troops while we're thinking about it. See how his division's doing. 3,000, 4,000, 4,000. Yeah, so all of his divisions could use some reinforcements. We're getting some stream lag right now. Just restarted the game, so you would think that wouldn't be taking place, but so we'll have some Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts brigades coming in. How did you just pick Graham and then change your mind to a guy from Ohio? Oh, we're sorted by age. Darn it, and I bet we're selected with artillery. Oh well. Let's make sure we don't have artillery on. We do. I was wondering why things looked a little off there. Sorting by experience, seniority. We'll go experience. Alright, there we go. So Banks will have 3 new brigades coming in to support. They'll take probably about a month to get there collectively. Man, they are preparing over here to attack us. Let's make sure nobody is on scout by accident. Nope, we are not, but they're definitely moving up a variety of troops this direction. I hate how the AI is able to stack them directly on top of each other and you really just can't see what's there. Go ahead and upgrade this to a level 3 back here from Washington. We're going to need all the supplies we can get. Meantime, how are we doing out in Kansas? We're building that supply depot. 5 more days. Okay. Our corps in Nashville are still regaining readiness. In Florida, we're still regaining readiness. Still says we have 0 supplies. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm not sure why we don't have supplies. We're not blockaded down there. Either way, we'll try to move him into Tampa as soon as we can take Tampa. Where's Farragut? Farragut's largely repaired, so we will get him down here to try to take Tampa and use that as our base of operations. Maybe it'll have a better supply than what we're getting down to Florida. Alright, so this is not close enough to actually blockade anything. So we'll move David Porter's ships just a little bit closer. How are we doing on the blockades up here? They're in the red, so we're at 60%. Costing them quite a bit. Give you a rundown kind of where we're at on blockades. Oh. Looks like the Mississippi River Squadron found the Vicksburg Squadron. Or vice versa. A foot should overwhelm this small little fleet pretty quick. Looks like only 6 of his ships have joined in the fight, but with the exception of the CSS Manassas, there shouldn't be a whole lot to worry about. Yeah, as you see there, we are disabling multiple ships quickly. We'll probably have to make a run for it and leave some behind. Oh, there's another one sunk. So they're down to really 3 ships. And it looks like it's over, but not telling us on screen. Sunk 2, captured 2. So let's send those 2 captured back to get repaired. How are some of our other repairs going? Good. Alright, so we'll keep him on a blockade. How are we doing on the river blockade? 63%. So, looks like we're kind of all around the board here around that. Vicksburg, not quite as much. Only 43%, but you see the cost that it's putting on them if you start adding up all these different ports. Can't actually see some of these other ones because the other buildings that get in the way. New Orleans is losing $14 million. 1.2 million. So, you see overall our blockades are doing a really good job. Right here, we can actually, since we have New Bern and Moorhead, let's double check that we did take that port. Pretty positive we did. But because of that port, we can go ahead and move this blockading fleet down a little ways and kind of support the blockade of Charleston. because we are blockading Elizabeth with this one. I know it's a little far away, but kind of means that we can move these guys down a little ways, and they can blockade Charleston and Wilmington, which takes some of the pressure off of this blockade, who's got 3 ports as it is. This one's only got 1, so I would assume this port is pretty well blockaded. Yeah, only 31%. I would think it would be more. Savannah. Overall, they're losing a lot of money. So I would say our blockade's working relatively well here as we get these guys in position. I'm assuming that'll increase the blockade. What's our Wilmington blockade look like? 73%. So, yeah, we've got that one pretty well blockaded. Let's see if we can help out a little bit in Charleston. And as some ships get repaired, we'll stick a couple more in some of these. Looks like this squadron needed a little bit more help. So we'll stick these 2 captured ships into that blockade to see if it'll help out. Alright, so we do have a depot now out here. They still don't have very many troops, and we are lacking supply still. So we're going to upgrade it. I'm not sure the best course of action here. See if there's anything we can do from a reforms. We do have some policies that we can assign. We're going to go with farm mechanization because it's essentially like doing recruitment offices where we get some more troops. I'm going to go with civil order one more time. Still early in the war, so we're going to go ahead and go with civil order again. And then the question becomes, do we want to suppress their support, or do we want to boost ours? Well, let's go ahead and go 2 and 2. Maybe then we'll be able to start recruiting some troops from down south here. See how we're doing on breadbasket. Almost done. When we finish that, we could go with the Tariff Act. Get a little bit more in taxes. As you see, our credit rating is starting to dip. So we might just go ahead and jump right into the government funding. Or 132 days on emancipation. We'll probably actually go ahead and jump right to that next. It'll increase our support pretty heavily, and it'll basically ensure that Europe never gets involved. They're only at 29%, but it'll increase our support pretty heavily. And then we'll focus on government funding, maybe even some diplomacy for some better trade. So, let's see how badly we're really doing on supply here. It says we're 100%, it says we're foraging, so we're going to press on. We're going to send the Mississippi River Squadron up to Fort Smith in an attempt to bombard Fort Smith. Looks like the Missouri River Squadron's going to be able to be okay down this direction. Let's click on it. Yeah, we've blockaded all their major ports in the area. Only 8 ships, so if something crazy happens, we will be in some trouble, but Kentucky River Squadron, we're going to move just a little bit further south. Hopefully get a little more help on that blockade of Memphis, just by controlling some of the railroad, I believe. And Ohio River Squadron's helping out. So, collectively, I think we're doing okay. We are going to prepare here in the hot months of summer to march through Arkansas and hit Fort Smith as best as we can. If we can take Fort Smith and that supply depot there, it allows us pretty easy access to go and take Little Rock. At that point, we could also potentially take some of the Indian territory, specifically this fort. Give us control of the entire river here. My geography is failing me here. Not entirely positive what river that is. Oh, it is officially the Arkansas River. So just looked that up. Makes sense. Guess I was overthinking that one. So this squadron is blockading Memphis, Greenville, like Providence, a little bit of Vicksburg. Baton Rouge is kind of one of the only ports we don't have blockaded at all right now. So we could use some more ships. Army of Florida ready to build a supply depot down here yet? Like, would that help us? It says we're in a base of supply. I don't know. We are gonna try to figure out which infrastructure reforms we can do. We've already done one. Can we do anything else to boost that? Logistics reforms, I guess, will be our next major focus here. We won't spend anything else until we do that. It seems to be our biggest problem right now is our logistical. So that's what we'll be shooting for. With our finances starting to hurt, we are going to pull back our subsidies on agriculture a little bit. Keep economy pretty high. Industry will pull back. So you see there, we're still losing 280 million right now a month. It's not great, but let's see what we're spending on Navy upkeep. Our Navy upkeep's pretty high. If we can get rid of some of, looks like a supply depot or two, really burn down some supplies that are, and send them to the front lines. I know there's usually one up here by New York that never ever gets used. See if that can allow us to streamline. Alright, before we can do that, the 4th Corps that's still awaiting reinforcements is under attack. So Nathaniel Banks, severely outnumbered. Maybe we'll get lucky and be able to be on the defensive. I think if we're going to have to attack, we may have to fall back pretty quickly. But we'll try again like we did last time and achieve a tactical victory out of it. Alright, so we are back into the game here. We did get lucky and are going to be on the defensive. We don't have very many defensive points here, only one. So it's not like we're going to be the AI. We'll spin it around so we can see their approach. Kind of the way that they will approach us. Get a better idea of the map. Looks like they're going to come down the front Royal Pike. It does branch off here. My bet is they're going to branch off one of these two roads, most likely. What's our landscape look like? Looks like it's slightly elevated on our side. We could use Bowers Hill as our defensive position. I mean, it's a pretty solid defensive position. Got the height for the artillery. They'll have to come up the hill. We might use our cavalry up here to scout the roads. So we'll go ahead and start getting in place instead of just talking about it. So we'll move Banks up here and detach Reno. Stick his guys as far up that hill to be able to cover it as possible. So we should be able to bombard them pretty heavily. We might need to turn just a little bit. We'll bring it right back after we get everything set up. All right, so we're ready to get started here. Speed up a little bit. As you can see, we did go ahead and decide to use the apple pie ridge as our defensive position. Got all of our troops laying down on the crest of the hill. Let's see if we can't build a little bit of breastworks here. Use some of these trees to give us some cover. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I need you to lay down. Alright, this lag is causing things to be a little extra sensitive right now. But let's see if we can't try to get everybody building a little bit of breastworks here. Give us just a little bit more cover, protection as they come up this road. We're going to do it individually because otherwise they will all try to build one individual giant line together and it'll take twice as long. And then they'll all be out of position. Alright, so while that's going on, we'll go ahead and speed up. We have Sumner's division back here in support behind a stone wall. They are back here in case the enemy decides to show up on our flank. And he'll kick some skirmishers out. It looks like the rest of their troops have arrived. So you see the total numbers now. We have less than half of their troops. We need to inflict more than 16% casualty. So we have a little bit better trained troops, is what it looks like. That military education or that military training is really paying off. We'll bring it back as we start to spot them. So we have spotted them. They are actually working two different directions on us. All right, well, it looks like that group is going towards Sumner, realistically. I'm not sure I have to fall back or retreat, but whatever. Um, this cavalry group might have spotted us, but it's 300 men on a scouting mission. We got more over here. Not sure if that means they're setting up because they've spotted our cavalry here. Really, that just buys more time for us to continue building those defenses. It does not appear we actually decided to build those with Longnecker. Looks like his guy said, no thank you. We don't want any extra cover. Everybody else seems because they're spotted our cavalry up ahead. We do have the benefit of some added time to build those defenses. And they are struggling for morale. Get up there, Hooker. Get him to relax. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. He goes over to Abercrombie, who is already confident. 73 morale. Here we're 30. I guess he's close enough that it'll count. So it should go up pretty quickly. But, oh, we're capped. Started broken. That's unhelpful. Looks like they're using their overwhelming numbers here to figure out where to press us. We're going to pull Stone out of the center there to hide behind this hill with even probably Butterfield likewise to support that flank because it almost looks like they're getting ready to come flank us down this road where we don't have any defenses, which is a really good move by the AI, but really just one of those things where it's like, oh man, that's a bummer. Are you guys in loose? I thought I told you guys to lay down. Good. Lay down. Don't let them see you. See what happens. So they're struggling for morale also. Let's speed up until everybody kind of actually starts getting into the fight here. Try to get both cavalry brigades up here. I assume they're going to come across this road. They're forming up here. Has that given us enough time to build all of our defenses? Yes, and actually what it's going to do is it's going to allow us more time to get defenses built to connect our line with Butterfield and Stone. So we'll rush both of them up there to protect that flank with Benham in reserve. Alright, they're forming up. Got both cavalry brigades there. They're both loose. They're just out of range of our artillery, but if they start approaching to attack us here, they will be under fire majority of the way. We are currently under fire, but if we lay down, we should be okay. Our morale is capped. But even literally just sitting here at this point, it has delayed them long enough. Even on speed 5, it looks like it's been a 2-hour delay so far of them seeing us and deciding that they do not want to approach us. They have some troops coming to our flank over here, but they're largely massed. Oh, there we go. There we go. We get a little movement now. We can slow it back down. Alright, we're going to take them off of lay down and let them fight. And what they've done is now come into our artillery range. You see they're starting to get hammered by different shells. Looks like this is all Greg's division moving up to approach our cavalry. Chapman broke pretty quickly. Wow. Wow. That's not great. But he did what we needed him to do, and he slowed them down. Let's just see if we can get you to face that way. No, maybe something. Move. Get set. Use cover. So they are still approaching all in battle lines across together, so that's kind of a nice little sight to see there, but not if you're us, where you're severely outnumbered. Alright, turn and shoot them. Alright, well, they opened up on us, we're opening up on them. Yeah, we're going to break quickly. That morale cap really hurts when you start broken. But, like I said, the big piece there was to really delay them as long as possible. And it worked. I don't think we inflicted hardly any casualties, but now they're completely set up this way on the crossing, and their advanced division is going to be under artillery fire while they advance into our skirmisher lines, which are also there for delaying action. The whole purpose here is to really delay them as much as possible, inflict as many casualties, hopefully potentially cause some of their morale to break, and force them back down into the Shenandoah Valley. If not, we'll probably have to give up Winchester. Let's get those guys laying down also, so if the artillery comes up, we're not taking unnecessary fire. Butterfield, lay down. Stone, lay down. And at this point, we know where they're coming from, so we're going to bring Benham up to reinforce that flank as quickly as possible. Hopefully Banks can get those guys rallied. Our skirmishers are engaged at the base of the hill a little bit. No, don't keep moving forward. You guys are already short on morale. And our artillery do their work. Where's Reno? We're gonna bombard that entire position there. They have a tendency to aim short, so oh, we're gonna need to just switch that to firing at will. They're already approaching on us. Come on, Reno. Get selected. Alright, so the approach has begun. I'm assuming this is still Greg's brigade, or division. It is. They're letting him be the hammer. See if we can just override this attempted bombardment as quickly as possible. There we go. We're firing at will right now. Firing at will. Whose will? I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of that unit that's getting ready to break in the center. We're going to move Benham that direction quickly. Who's that? Wincoop, who is just unstable as it is. We're going to let him lay back down just in case. Our skirmishers are being forced back in a lot of places. That's fine. Again, we're just trying to delay as much as possible, inflict some casualties. Hopefully get Benham over here quickly to where he can form right next to Wincoop. We're hoping Banks can get some of this cavalry, there we go, and get them on top of the hill, up here to support. Really just give a combined arms boost to everybody that's getting approached right now. If we can get Chapman, we'll do it to the other side. Reno, are we on fire at will? Yeah, we're firing at everything. We'll be canister here soon. Alright, our skirmishers are forced back across all types of positions there. We are forcing a couple brigades to have to fight them. Switch Abercrombie to long range and let him just start opening up on those guys. And that's allowed us enough time to get Benham's 1,200 men in line. Looks like Benham's detachment has gotten in the way. Whatever. If they get out there and they stall a little bit longer, that's fine too. We're inflicting a small number of casualties. I'd like to see more from our artillery, but do we have the boost here? We do. Alright, that'll help. We get Chapman's guys over here to this side. Not yet. Alright, so they are sending a brigade to flank us where we pulled Benham from. Alright, so we forced the Holcomb Legion back. Looks like we routed another unit over here. Baldwin's brigade. Our artillery fire is probably helping significantly there. Alright, Stone, time to stand up and fire. Same with you, Butterfield. It's now or never. So behind our fortifications here, we are pouring it into this advancing brigade. This being our flank, it's really important here to hold, and we're just going to get overwhelmed. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I sent Avril over here to try to support, because we're just getting punched hard on that left. Can they get up here and support also? I mean, any bullet that we can fire at them at this point is... Get on up here. I don't care if you're on your horses at this point. Just get up here and fire. We're going to pull Benham. He's going to get a lot of work here. Pull him back across. Dismount and get ready to help. See how we're doing on the other flank. They were avoiding our center pretty much completely and punching both flanks at the same time. Okay, mouse, let's stop being sensitive here. So somebody got wounded, not sure who. We'll figure it out in just a second. Stone. I think he's the one holding the flank right now. Benham's coming to support though, Stone. It's okay, man. Hold him. Where's Chapman's cavalry? Hey, your 134 guns are very much needed on this flank. You've got carbines. Get up here. Come on, Benham. I have no idea what's happening on the other flank, but we're about to at least rout one unit. Johnson's brigade. Okay, you're going to need to spin and get your men in cover and fire at those guys. We're trying. Dismount. And get up here. So, this corps is not doing too badly right now. We do have more artillery on the other side, so I'm a little more confident on this other side about being able to hold. They're still pressing forward without firing into us. We don't have the cavalry boost over here. And they're just going. I guess they've decided they're going to get as close as possible. They must be in an assault stance and short range. We're going to pull Hayes to support this flank, as they're not punching our center at all. Wincoop's gonna also come support over here because we did just have a unit break. Looks like that was Butterfield. Another wounded. I don't even have time to get to it right now. We'll figure out who it was. Too many other pressing needs going on right now. Sumner, you gotta hold that line, man. I mean, everything you got. Hold it. Get up there and get those guys to believe in themselves. Stone's just taking withering casualties. It's not registering that he's behind the fence. But even wounded, he's got his men still fighting. See if we can get Wincoop over there. Butterfield's broken. Down to 800 men. Can we get him back? Hanks, get over there and get to him quickly. We're going to need his men. Alright, Longnecker, we are going to pull also to this left flank. We've got artillery over here. Looks like we punched that assault off. It's down to just Finnegan's brigade. It looks like their assault died on our defenses, but our guys are really struggling. We're going to need to get Rosecrans up there to rally them. Alright, we're pushing them back across the left also now. Good job, Sumner. Maybe get off your horse. Oh, there they go. Maybe I spoke too soon, Sumner. Alright, Chapman, you're up. 134 guns, gotta go. Win Coop, you gotta get up here. Of course, I say that, and here comes a cavalry charge. Spin, spin, spin. Fire at him. Alright, so we can throw this cavalry charge off of our center with the Department of Norfolk's very small brigade there. I don't know if we're able to push back this flank. Looks like Benham's able to hold. Maybe with the help of the cavalry. Get up there, Chapman. 134 guns, man. We're severely outnumbered here. Can we get Longnecker up to support on the flank here? I don't really want to charge them. I just want to get a little bit closer to fire into. They're taking heavy casualties. Eccles Brigade, 150 strength. I mean, they don't have a whole lot to support the thrust into the center right now. Their artillery's slightly out of range. Coming again on the left. I mean, Benham doesn't have much left. He's about to give. Down to 1,000 men. Where's Butterfield? Is he rallied yet? He is not. How about Stone? Nope. Alright, can we get Longnecker over? Hooker got wounded. That's who it was. Nope, I don't want them to move. I just want them to pour some flanking fire into Smith. Orange Stable. We're not doing great on morale right now, but nightfall is starting to arrive. Their morale might be equally as bad. Looks like Kirby Smith's coming back. See how we're doing in other parts of the battlefield. We're doing okay. We're gonna have to pull Hayes this direction also, because this is the only part of the battlefield right now where there's a fight taking place. It looks like they have another corps, maybe, division coming up. I'm not sure. Our batteries are starting to struggle. Ammunition still at 73%, so that's great. Are we going to break Kirby Smith before he breaks Benham? So I want to get Benham out of there, but I don't have anybody getting here to support him quick enough. I mean, his guys are holding like rocks. We're going to have to give Benham a nickname here because his men have just held the heck out here. Hmm. Yeah, it was a matter of time. The question is can we get Longnecker over to that flank? Because they keep getting, quote, engaged and don't ever get there. Come on, Longnecker. Come on, man. We see new units coming this direction down the road. Where's Hayes? Man is refusing to march. Alright, so looks like we held off that left. There goes Kirby Smith. Looks like he's breaking. But we do know Forney's brigade is here laying at the base of the hill. Oh, Chapman broke just from moving forward. Wheel. We'll stay on this flank with at least 2 brigades just in case. Can we get Butterfield and Stone back in the fight? Benham, maybe? I don't know where Stone ended up. Stone go through his lost resilience? Yes, he did. So Stone's out and wounded. Benham, Butterfield might rejoin us here. Throw Hayes right here because I don't think Wincoop and Abercrombie are going to hold much longer. Longnecker is up to hold the left flank. Alright, Hayes, maybe you'll be okay. We'll stick you there anyway. Because they do have a variety of units coming down that road. If we get to Nightfall here, we're going to disengage. I think we're winning the casualties battle. We'll check it out real quick while we're in between some of the fighting. We're losing the battle. Casualties wise, it's about 2-1. But like you see, we're almost at our threshold. So are they, but lost resilience becomes a problem here. If we could rally a couple of those, then we might be in decent shape. Alright, how are you flanked? There's nobody shooting at you. Longnecker, come on, man. So we've got Hayes in position now. Looks like they were trying to move their artillery up to get better aim at us. So what we'll do is we'll lay down. Try to make sure that artillery cannot hit us. And also stay out of the way of potential friendly fire from our own. Right, there we go. There's Forney's men. Let's fire at them. Alright, end of day. Like I said, we are going to go ahead and pull out of this fight. It looks like both sides have hit their threshold for making it a major defeat. We did inflict more than 2-to-1 casualties, but our cohesion is going to be just non-existent. So we'll go ahead and withdraw in the middle of the night. I know daylight showed up, but we'll withdraw and fight another day. Unfortunately, when you withdraw, it does not show you the overall stats of the battle, so that's why we showed it there at the end. Let's bring you back on the main page. Obviously, we lost, but Banks is telling us that it's a tactical victory. Enemy suffered 6,000 casualties to our 3,000, 6,000 and a half. We did have quite a bit hit ourselves. Looks like they lost Edward Johnson in the fight. So now we need to go figure out who all we lost, because we got a couple of reports there. It looks like Hooker and Stone are both wounded. So I know we had already started to try to reinforce Banks's corps. We're going to probably have to do it even more. Is there anybody prepared for, let's see, Fame 2, Fame 1? Looks like Abercrombie will be taking command of the division for Hooker. And then what about Stone? William Irwin will be assigned command. And then we'll check where we're at real quick on 5,000 when those reinforcements show up. Sumner's going to need even more, so we will give him another. Let's find somebody on the East Coast. New Jersey. They're stationed in Maryland. We'll give them Maryland. I don't think we have. Yeah, we have no casualties from Maryland as of right now. Man, I guess we're capturing some of those. So, who we got from Maryland that we can do not have artillery selected, so that's a good start. Napoleon Dana, even though he's not from Maryland, he's from Minnesota, but he's first up. We have anybody else we can upgrade weapons for? Anything we stole? No, we need to upgrade that. Down to 107 men. I'm not sure what the threshold is to